Well, hello there, grandchildren. Welcome back to Granny Goatee's food review show, where Granny Goatee reviews your favorite foods. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on another episode. I want to just thank all of the new subscribers that have subscribed to the channel and are supporting Granny Goatee. Thank you so much for hitting that button, turning on that notification bell, and for joining me on this roller coaster ride. And we are almost at 500 subscribers, and I have been uploading videos. By the end of January, it will be about 1 year, and it would be so great if we can get up to 500 subscribers before that 1 year mark. So if you do enjoy this video and you find it entertaining and informative, why don't you hit that subscribe button and give me a like. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell, okay, grandchildren? Now, currently I am in Prescott, Arizona. Everybody knows what is happening in Los Angeles right now with the fires and the devastation. So I was fortunate enough to leave and to come to Arizona because I did not want to breathe the bad air quality, and also it's very dangerous and chaotic right now in the city. And before I do this review, grandchildren, I am going to just talk a little bit about how I feel about this situation. And this is not a political show, but Los Angeles is my home. I grew up in Los Angeles, and I just want to talk about a few things. And if you don't want to listen to Granny Goatee vent, essentially, then I'll go ahead and put a little notification, not a notification, I'm sorry, a little note on the bottom of the video where you can skip ahead to where the review actually starts. Okay, grandchildren? So I just want to briefly talk about Prescott, Arizona, before I get into Los Angeles, and how things are handled over here and what I have seen. So in Prescott, Arizona is the city of Prescott is a mountain town. It is about 6,000 feet above sea level, and it is surrounded by hills and mountains, almost like a little bit of a valley on top of a mountain range. And there's lots of evergreens and different kinds of trees, and bald mountains too that don't have very much brush. And sometimes when I'm here, I will see a lot of prescribed fires all over this city. Granted, this city, of course, is not as large as Los Angeles, but the firefighters here do localized controlled burns. Okay, grandchildren? And if you look at a map of this city, this town, you will see almost nearly all the homes are sprinkled all inside on the side of these mountains, surrounded by trees, and basically not in the city, on the mountainside. And none of these homes, as far as I know, ever since this city has been around, have ever burned down. And I think what happens is that these controlled fires, they're able to remove all of those shrubs and those dead trees, and it protects the city essentially. And they do it almost every year that I do come by here. They do that. Now, I have lived in Southern California in Los Angeles for nearly my entire life, since I immigrated to the United States, and I have never, in my entire time being in Los Angeles, ever seen a prescribed burn anywhere around the mountains of Los Angeles, the mountains that are essentially on fire right now. And I just don't understand why that is the case. Okay, grandchildren, because as I hike through these mountains, I've hiked in a couple videos and showed you, there is a tremendous amount of dead foliage and dead trees that have been dead for years. I have been walking by these dead trees on these trails for years, and they are not removed, they are not cleaned up, and they are not burned in a controlled fire. And I think that policy and that approach has essentially contributed to this devastation. Another thing I want to talk about, and of course, I don't know all of this information. I don't know all of the information regarding what policies could have led to this, but I have read here and there a few things, and I don't know how accurate they are, but if they are accurate, like these prescribed burns, I'll try to put up a map over here of prescribed burns that are currently happening in California, and you'll see these green flames. They are actually happening mostly in Northern California. So California does have prescribed burns, but never in or around Los Angeles. And that's just mind-boggling to me, because the driest part of California is Southern California. So you would think that these prescribed burns would be there. But now, anyway, let's move on from the prescribed burns to the smelt fish, okay? Now, as far as I know, the smelt fish likes brackish water, which is a combination of salt and fresh. And so I guess the water that is flowing from Northern California has been diverted into the ocean, from what I read, to protect this fish, and does not reach Southern California. Now, I don't know how accurate that is, but if it is accurate, and if indeed that is the case, I just want to, tell these politicians in California, are you just a bunch of planters peanuts out here? How can you people value a fish, and one that is pretty ugly, might I add? It's not like this is a beautiful fish. Not that really matters, but how can you value a fish over the lives of human beings? What is wrong with these people? I just don't understand. And I know that this may not sit well with many of my subscribers, but I'm just trying to get it off my chest. Fish is food. Fish is food, okay? Animals are essentially food. And we eat animals, the majority of human beings do, and we have for nearly all of our entire existence. And we have reached a level of comfort now where we have the ability to not eat animals if we can, and there's very, very many people that do, and I don't fault them for that. Maybe it's a conscious thing, maybe you love animals, but I think that when human beings value the lives of animals over the lives of human beings, they have it all twisted, okay? Human beings are the most important creatures on this planet. And we have to prioritize the lives of human beings over animals, okay? Simply, without even getting into how much more valuable human beings are than animals, on the most basic level, we eat animals, but we don't eat human beings. If at the very basic level, at the very minimal level of consumption of food for calories and energy, we draw a line on human beings. At least the vast majority of human beings across the world do. And the reason why we do that is because we value the lives of human beings more than we value the lives of animals. And I can tell you, grandchildren, if I had the power, I would deep fry every smelt fish in California, and I would eat them on Granny Goatee's food review show, and I would find their 3 nearest cousins, and I would deep fry every single one of those fish too, and give you a review on Granny Goatee's food review show, just to save those 16 lives that were lost in these fires, and to give all of these people their homes back. And I just don't understand how people can care about animals more than they care about people. I just don't understand. Anyway, that's it for my rant. And I'm sorry if that landed the wrong way with some of you, but it's truly how I feel, and I'm really torn up right now because it's my home and it's burning to the ground. And it's over things that can have, there's things about the people that are in power that they could have done, I think, differently if they took it a little bit more seriously. And in 2019, let me just say this one more thing. We had a devastating fire in Southern California. You couldn't see the sun. It looked like a small little orange because the smoke was arguably so much more worse than it is now because of the winds, the way they were blowing, and nothing was done. after, I mean, 5 years ago, nothing was done by these people to prevent that from happening again. And now all these people are paying the price with their lives and with their homes and properties being completely destroyed. All right, on to the review, grandchildren. Let me just, my mouth got a little dry. Let me just like wet the beak a little. And let's get on to this review. So we're going to be reviewing the Snickerdoodle pancakes, which are the pancake of the month for January. I'm so glad that IHOP is continuing the pancake of the month into 2025 because it is so awesome. I love doing these reviews on the pancake of the month. I love pancakes, and I like that they are changing it up every month and giving us a new flavor and a new option. Now in Arizona, these pancakes, 2-stack, were $6.55, and I have to mention this every video. In California, these the same exact order from IHOP, if I were to order it in California, they would be over $14, grandchildren. Okay, so that's double the price for this same item in California, which just really blows my mind. And that's a major fail, IHOP, because I discussed it in the previous video that, you know, the price range going from $15 to $20 an hour that you're paying your employees, you know, that's like a 32% increase in pay. But you're charging for this meal in particular, for example, over 100% more. And that's just a joke. So I think IHOP needs to do better. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. Let's see what it smells like first and foremost. Now, these Snickerdoodle pancakes, by the way, that smells just like a Snickerdoodle cookie. By the way, if you do want to hear the history of IHOP, you can go ahead and click on this video here, and in that video, a pop-up will pop up. I go ahead and get into the history of IHOP. I like to do that with all of these companies. Now, these pancakes are Snickerdoodle pancakes. They're supposed to have cinnamon sugar on top and cream cheese icing and whipped topping. Now, I don't see any cinnamon sugar on top, but the batter must have something else in there that makes it smell like Snickerdoodle pancakes. Now, they gave me a bag full of goodies. Here's the bag, and the goodies are inside. Now, what do we have here? We have old-fashioned pancake syrup, which I don't like to use in these pancakes of the month because it ruins the flavor of the original pancake. So here is the cinnamon sugar. They were nice enough to give me that. All right, which is great. So we'll go ahead and sprinkle this cinnamon sugar on top, just like so. Let's get that sprinkle. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, it looks really beautiful in the sun. I hope the camera's picking that up. You're getting like a little gust of cinnamon sugar that's kind of spiraling on top of the pancakes, almost like a tornado. Woo! I got that all over the car. Party foul, cinnamon sugar party foul, grandchildren. All right, and here is that cream cheese icing. Now, they did forget to give me that whipped topping, which I am a little disappointed about, but let's go ahead and take a lick. I love their cream cheese frosting because it's a little tart from the cream cheese with just enough sweetness to really pack a punch. So let's go ahead and drizzle this on top like so. All right, come on, icing. Now, I am so bummed out that they did not give me the whipped cream topping. And nice little squeeze here. Woo! That does not look appetizing, does it, grandchildren? All right, here we go. And of course, they did not give me, oh, they did, thank goodness. Okay, let's go ahead and dig in. Snickerdoodle pancakes going down. Now, Penny did request for me to do a video on some traditional food items that are like Arizonan food items, and I did some research, and maybe the next video I will go ahead and put that out. Okay, so stay tuned for that, grandchildren. Now, I think I may have to add that old-fashioned syrup to this bad boy, because it looks to me a little dry. But we're gonna go ahead and take a taste test without the syrup, because I want to see if it actually does taste like Snickerdoodle. So let's go ahead and cut a nice piece over here. All right, grandchildren, bear with me. It is a plastic knife, and this Snickerdoodle pancake is not coming off as fluffy as IHOP traditionally makes their pancakes. Okay, grandchildren, I can already feel it when I was cutting into it, that these pancakes are not going to be as fluffy as they traditionally are. I did a pancake review. I don't know which ones they are. I don't remember which one it was, but I'll see if I can find it and let you know what it is. Maybe I'll put a link up here. But I reviewed another pancake of the month from IHOP, and I don't remember what flavor it was, but it was so dry. It was like biting into the Sahara Desert, and this feels almost exactly the same. These pancakes, they're dry, they're overcooked. They do taste like Snickerdoodle a little bit, but I think where that's coming from is actually that cinnamon sugar that I put on top. Really, grandchildren, this pancake of the month is not very good. I do not recommend that you try it. And check this out real quick. Let me see if I can get this out of the way so I can give you a look at this. But this is the flattest darn pancake that I have ever gotten from IHOP. And normally their pancakes are fluffy and they fall apart. I would not be able to lift it up like this without it falling apart. And you can see it almost wants to fall apart, but it is so dense and so hard that, I mean, look at this thing. This is not a fluffy pancake, okay? This is awful. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this into the bag. We are not going to be eating this, and I do not recommend it, grandchildren. Now, as far as a score of 1 to 10, I'm gonna have to give this a 2.2, just because the flavors of Snickerdoodle are actually there, but the issue is it's not very good. I would much rather have a Snickerdoodle cookie, and it wouldn't cost $6.55, and I would go on my way. So you don't have to try these pancakes out for this month, grandchildren. You can skip it. IHOP, this is a major fail. And even the whipped topping would not save you from this dry, lame excuse for a pancake. Okay, grandchildren? Now, thank you once again for joining me on another episode. The next video will be a more positive for a lot of reasons. Probably the food will be much better. And Granny Goatee got what she wanted to say off of her chest. Thank you for bearing with me, grandchildren. I'm going through a really tough time right now with what's going on. And so this is, I guess, a way of me to handle it and kind of just air it out. You know, I am, after all, human. And I do have my own opinions. And I just wanted to just air it out, okay? So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for joining me on another episode. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video. Oh, excuse me. And I will see you on the next video. In the meantime, please stay safe. Be grateful for what you have. You never know what can happen. In a matter of 24 hours, everything could be taken away from you. So just be grateful for all that we have, grandchildren. Let's thank God. And I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.